All right, everybody. Welcome to the Crawford County, Illinois Ghost Hunter Society live talk show. This is episode number 17. And I'll tell you what, there's always something trying to stop this show, guys. I had everything from my computer updating to the program I used to run this show malfunctioning. Then it deleted all my pictures for tonight's show. I had to go in and re-upload all the pictures. So it's been a good one here tonight already, guys. It is currently Monday, September the 14th, 2020. And we've got a good show here tonight. Get some stuff to talk about, our investigations and the stuff we did over the weekend when we couldn't go live again due to bad signal, which has been happening a lot to us lately. I guess we need to stay out of the woods or something because we've been getting a lot of areas we're investigating where we just can't get any live feed or live signal going. So, but you can check out our website at www.crawfordcountyghosthunters.org. Check it out. If you haven't been on there, we're going to be making some announcements on the website, and we're going to be making some announcements on tonight's show about some stuff that's coming up in the future. You can also email us at illinoishauntings@gmail.com. If you have any location out there you want us to investigate or you just want us to check out to see if there's any type of paranormal activity, send us an email. We investigate homes, businesses, houses, boats, hotels, bars, restaurants, just about anything. So definitely send us an email or send us a message on our Facebook page. That will also work. We are, if you're watching from YouTube, our Facebook page is facebook.com/Crawford County Ghost Hunters. We are dual streaming to YouTube right now. Also, so it is youtube.com/Crawford County Ghost Hunters. If you're out there watching on YouTube, I only monitor the Facebook feed. So definitely switch over to Facebook if you're out there, if you want your questions asked. So that way I can talk with you guys and interact with you guys during the live talk show. So we got, let me see here. Let's get that off there. Check out our Instagram page at Instagram/Crawford County Ghost Hunters. If you are not following us on Instagram, go do so. We don't post a lot on there because we don't have time. Unfortunately, I do everything, all of our website work, our YouTube, our Facebook show right now and everything. So it's kind of hard for me to do all platforms and get everything updated and posted. That's why we do this show too, to kind of keep you guys updated on what we're doing, what we've been doing over the weekend and everything. We've changed the show now, I think permanently for right now to Monday night. I think that's going to work out a little better for us. But you can also check out the Midnight Syndicate. We use their music for our intros and everything. That was Cemetery Gates by Midnight Syndicate you heard tonight. All rights reserved, used with permission. You can check their website out at midnightsyndicate.com. They also have music on YouTube and Spotify. If you want to check them out on there, definitely get on there and check out Midnight Syndicate. But, well, welcome to the show, guys. I'm try to monitor our live feed here real quick so I can answer any questions or anything that might come up. Looks like we've got a few people in the house tonight again. Luke Massey, Jen Newland. Looks like Allison Burke's watching. Hey, Allison, Tammy Joe, Jen. Got a lot of people out there watching again tonight. First thing, I want to tell you guys what we were doing over the weekend. And it was really cool because we kind of kicked off the Hanging of Elizabeth Reed, a ghost story, private tours for the people who won the Kickstarter or who donated money to the project and the Kickstarter. Some people went with us, and we took them on like a private tour of all the locations that was shown in the documentary we were in with Joe Turry. Joe Turry was the producer of that. We helped with the production, helped with the filming and getting those spots together and, especially the paranormal aspect of it. So that's pretty cool. If you guys haven't seen that, definitely check out The Hanging of Elizabeth Reed, a ghost story. It's on Amazon Prime right now. And if you're an Amazon Prime member, I believe it's free. If you're not an Amazon Prime member, I think it's $3 to rent that. So definitely check that out, guys. $3 isn't that big of a deal. And it's a pretty cool documentary involving, the local history of the area, and especially the story of Elizabeth Betsy Reed. But we kind of kicked off this weekend with a little tour for the people who, donated it toward the Kickstarter. And I was going to throw up a group shot of that here if I can find it. Met some really cool fans of ours. Karen Cat was there along with a lot of others. So I'm going to throw up a picture here onto the screen. There's a group shot. So, yeah, there's one of the pictures taken during our Elizabeth Reed kickoff tour there we did this weekend. That was Saturday. We started that at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. We went to a lot of the locations and sites that we, filmed at for the documentary, The Hanging of Elizabeth Reed. That's taken, I believe, in Baker Cemetery. So you can see myself, Courtney Mendenhall, Jason Dickerson on my team there. And then Joe Turry and Troy's hiding back there somewhere. But I believe Joe had a couple of his Springfield guys there that did some of the filming. I apologize, I can't remember your names at the current time, but they were there and helped with the documentary also. Here's another shot from over the weekend. Some of the fans that went out with us on the tour, that's taken near the Lawrenceville High School football field where Elizabeth Betsy Reed was taken to be executed on May 23rd, 1845. So that was one of our stops that we took over the weekend right there. And that location is extremely active. The old football field area there in Lawrenceville, Illinois. So you definitely watch the documentary if you guys haven't seen this yet. But that's what we were doing Saturday during the day. We were kicking off this Betsy Reed tour. And I'm going to be announcing something cool here. During the month of October on all of our talk shows, and again, we've changed our talk show, guys, to the 8 o'clock time frame on Monday nights. So definitely check that out. We're going to be giving away DVDs. I've got the DVDs now. I just got them from Joe over the weekend. So these will be available, and we will be giving away prizes. We'll be giving these away. We'll be giving away anniversary edition DVDs, which comes with a soundtrack and a poster for the documentary. So definitely keep checking in on our live talk shows on Monday nights. We're going to be giving these things away as prizes. You may win. So definitely check that out. That's pretty cool. It's got our little logo down there in the back. So we're going to be doing a lot of giveaways in the month of October. In October, we're also going to we're going to be doing a lot of stuff in October. And our schedule is packed right now as far as investigations, haunted tours that we're going to be doing. So I just want to get another place announced again while I'm talking about our haunted tours. Let me get my calendar up here. But we're going to be doing investigations starting this next Saturday, the 19th, at the Lawrenceville Masonic Lodge. This is Edward Dobbins Lodge, number 164. So that's where we're going to be doing these haunted tours at this coming weekend, the 19th. Sorry, guys. I just lost my sound for a minute. But, yeah, definitely check this out if you guys want to go on a real investigation, a live investigation with us. It costs $30 a ticket to get in, and all the money, all the proceeds go back to the Masonic Lodge to do updates and restore the lodge and anything the lodge might have come up for that they need to use that money for to restore the lodge, because it's an historical place. It's got connections to Abraham Lincoln. It was a pre-Civil War church where Lincoln attended church. It's part of the Underground Railroad. There is a tunnel underneath the lodge that goes to the river. So, I mean, it's got connections to the Underground Railroad, and there's also a lot of paranormal activity there. So definitely, you know, guys, give us a message, a Facebook message, if you're interested in coming the 19th, which is this weekend. We've got the 19th, the 26th of September, and the 10th of October for these Lawrenceville Masonic Lodge overnights. And they're going to start at like 7 p.m. Got to think of the time here. The investigation is going to start at 7 p.m. and they're going to get over at 4 a.m. in the morning. But you're more than welcome to leave at any time. You know, you're not locked in or anything. It's not like Ghost Adventures where we lock the doors behind you and padlock the place shut. You're more than welcome to leave at any time. I promise we're not going to hold you hostage. But if you're interested in paranormal, you know, paranormal research, a haunted place, or just a cool historical building, maybe you're interested in Freemasonry, definitely, you know, get a hold of us and we can hook you up, especially if you're a guy and you're interested in Freemasonry, we may be able to get you to join the lodge. So, but definitely check that out and send us a message, because the October 10th haunted overnight at the lodge is filling up fast, guys. I guess it's just because it's October and people want to do something cool in October. And again, we're going to be doing all of our haunted stuff as usual, as normal in October. I know a lot of the stuff is shutting down due to the COVID-19 scare. You know, a lot of people they're not having the parades, they're not having the festivals. So again, you know, definitely check us out if you're wanting some entertainment or something to do on a weekend in October and September, because it's coming up the next 2 weekends. But in October, I'm going to make the announcement real quick too about what we're doing. You guys are hearing this first right here on the talk show. In the month of October, we are going to be doing our haunted tours, our normal county-wide haunted tours on every Friday and Saturday night. So I believe probably except for the 10th, which is our Masonic Lodge tour. So every Friday and Saturday night, except for October the 10th, which is going to be the Masonic Lodge overnight, which is $30 a person to go to the Masonic Lodge. And again, all that goes back to them, not us. You know, we're trying to make money for the lodge to help restore that historical place. And the other weekends, you know, we're going to be doing the haunted tours around the county, our normal haunted tour, and you can follow behind in your vehicle. So it's going to be relatively safe. You know, if you're worried about COVID and all that, you're going to be in your own vehicle. You can wear masks out in the cemetery, and we're going to keep, you know, individual groups at least 6 feet apart. We're going to try to take precautions and all that, you know, so it's a safe, fun time for your family if you want to come to these events. So definitely hit us up on the Facebook page. We're going to be making announcements and advertisements regarding the Masonic Lodge. We're going to do that tomorrow, and our haunted tours we're going to be announcing later this week, you know, officially on there. So just keep watching the page. It'll be on there too, but send us a Facebook message. Just tell us what weekend you want to book you and your family, you know, for a haunted tour in October. We'll meet at the Oblong Park as usual, and we'll probably leave at 7 p.m. And these things are all night, guys. I mean, they last sometimes till 1, 2, 3 in the morning. Just depends on how much activity we get. But you're more than welcome to leave at any time. What you do, you follow behind in your own vehicle, and you can use our equipment on site. We have equipment we'll let you guys use, and I tell the history and hauntings of some of the locations that we go to. It's kind of a historical / haunted tour. So, you know, you're learning about these places, and you're able to investigate with us and use our equipment. So it's really cool. The only night I am not, as of right now, well, the 10th, and this is what I'm announcing also for the first time tonight. On October the 24th, I personally will not be on that haunted tour, but we will still be running the haunted tours in the county on October 24th. One of my team members will be doing it. I don't know if it'll be Jason Dickerson, unless he goes with me, which he might. So we may be having another team member run the haunted tours on October the 24th, which is Saturday night. We are going to be in St. Louis, St. Louis area. We're going to be at McPike Mansion over there. And I'm sure you guys have seen or heard about McPike Mansion over in that area. It's a really famous haunted mansion. It's been on everything from Ghost Adventures to Ghost Hunters. But as of right now, Sharon is needing help, the owner of McPike Mansion. So we're going to go over for their haunted overnight or camp out event on October the 24th. And we're going to be kind of like a host team to help investigate McPike. We're going to set up our equipment, our monitors, our command center and everything, run cameras in. And hopefully, I don't know what we're going to do about the second floor because it's in really bad shape. She may or may not let us run a camera up there for people to just look, but probably not. But anyway, the cellar area is accessible, and right toward the bottom is kind of good in the house. But we're going to be doing an investigation in the backyard, of the Pike Mansion. Supposedly has some graves out there. I don't know about that. We kind of debunked some of that, but I'm not sure about the graveyard in the backyard. But anyway, we're going to have Sharon, the owner of McPike Mansion, on our show this coming Monday, which would be, let me look at my calendar. I got October up again. 21st of October, Sharon's going to be on our show, and she's going to talk about this event too and tell you guys about the haunted overnight at McPike Mansion. And I believe, everybody out there is invited. I think it's a public event. I've got to ask her how that works. I don't know if you buy tickets to it, so hold off on that. I'm kind of announcing this a little early, but let me figure out, if that's like something you have to buy tickets for or how that operates. But that's going to be on the 24th of October. Got a lot in my calendar here. So we're going to be over there at McPike Mansion. I'm not sure where else we're going to be. We're going to be doing I'm still keeping the Halloween deal a surprise, what we're going to be doing for Halloween. But some of it is going to be a public event. We may split up again, do two things on Halloween because Halloween falls on a full moon. But check our page, check all of our social media things, watch our talk show. We'll keep you updated on everything. And definitely check Sharon's show out next Monday night when she's going to be on here. She's a really interesting lady. She's had a lot of experiences in McPike Mansion. So really cool lady. And she's seen a ghost herself in McPike Mansion when she first, came up there and bought the place. And the cellar area is really haunted. And if you guys haven't watched our video from McPike Mansion, definitely get on. I think it's on YouTube also. As one of our evidence videos. Me and Dickerson captured some really weird stuff. We were inside the house on our investigation there. And that's one thing we want to have up and playing, if we go over there that night, is our evidence video that we captured. These doors are huge, and the doors open and shut at the same time. We got, I believe, I'm a little rusty on this because it's been a little while. We've got a voice on the ghost box that says, "I was killed," I think is what it said. And if you slow down the video, you also see a light shoot through there. At the same time this happens, at the same time the door opens and closes. So it's like the thing says, "I got killed," a light shoots through, the door opens and slams by itself. I mean, air currents can do a lot of stuff in old houses, drafts, backdrafts. They can create wind tunnels. They can open doors sometimes, slam them. Usually you only get it going in one direction. That's why this is really interesting is, we have the door open and close. It's really strange. And along with the communication we got on the ghost box and a light, an unexplainable light. I don't like the term orbs because most of that's dust particles and all that. And I don't know that this light's paranormal, but it's just a weird coincidence that it goes through at the same time. The door opens and slams and we get a thing that says, "I got killed." So that's three pieces of evidence there. But anyway, she'll be on here Monday night to talk about McPike Mansion. That's going to be a cool show. Again, it's going to start at 8 o'clock. But another thing we did over the weekend, which you guys didn't get to see, unfortunately, we can't go live at all these places because of the signal loss and just we're out in the middle of nowhere. So let me bring the feed back up and I'll tell you guys about it. I lost your comments here. Looks like everybody said they'll definitely check that out. Paula's asking, will we go live when we go to St. Louis? If Sharon allows us to on that event, Paula, yes, we will try to go live. I'm not 100% sure, but I would like to go live when we do that. I'm sure she won't have a problem with that. Tiffany said, oh, yeah, Tiffany, she was there. Can we get a copy of that picture Joe took of us at Baker Cemetery, Jason? Yes, I will. As soon as the show is over, Tiffany, I will send you that group picture I posted up there. And I think you're in the other pic I showed too. So, yeah, I will. I'll send you that as soon as the show's over. I'll send it to you on Messenger. Yeah, we all had a good time on that little tour we did, the Betsy Reed tour we did this weekend. So that was a pretty cool deal. But one thing I want to talk about, after the tour got over on Saturday, we all met up. My team all met up. We tried to get Joe to go with us, but he was a party pooper and went home. But no, he's got a 3-hour drive back to Springfield, so I didn't blame him. But one of the things that we did do that night, we did investigations, and we went up into the Shelby County area. And we were going to go live, but we just didn't get signal. We couldn't get any type of live signal at all. We started a live feed, if any of you guys seen that, and we had to take it down. Did anybody see the live feed get started? Because we got into about 5 minutes of live feed, me kind of introducing the place, and it just went haywire from there. I don't know if it was something paranormal, because I mean it was in the middle of nowhere, but we should have had signal. We go live from places a lot more remote than what we were at. But I want to tell you about, the location we were at, that we were at up there in Shelby County. It was a location called Spain Cemetery. So I guess some people saw 2 seconds of it. They're saying, Doit says, yes, I did. I saw 2 seconds. Sorry about the 2-second thrill there, you guys. It was it's about all you got that night. That sounded pretty bad. But anyway, if you guys saw our 2-second thrill video of this location, here's where we were at. It was Spain Cemetery. It was established in 1836, I believe it was. You can see on there. This location's in Shelby County. And we had reports of paranormal activity from this location. And it was really weird. We went live from Casbar and Ramsey Cemetery over in Effingham County a while back. We met up with a group of girls from over there. Well, we didn't really meet up. They kind of came to the cemetery while we were there and came out there while we were investigating. They were interested in paranormal research, started telling us about, all the places they knew about. They said one of the weirdest places they'd been is this Spain Cemetery. So we started contacting locals and asking around about it. And a lot of people have had reports of weird things happening here. But again, stay tuned, guys, because it gets pretty neat here, because I've never seen anything like this. But in the back part of the cemetery, I'm going to show you what's back there. There is a guest book, and it says Jacob on it. And it says, Jacob, the runaway slave from Tennessee. So in the back part of the cemetery, I mean, it's freaky, guys. This cemetery is like, it's remote, and like toward the back part of it, it's kind of like you go into this little like room in the woods. I mean, it's like cut out with trees, and I mean, it's like you enter another section of the cemetery where this is at. And I've never seen anything like this in a cemetery, but this is actually a guest book inside here. It says guest book inside. You open that box up, and there's a guest book that you can sign your name and where you're from and everything. So that it's very, very, unique, this place is. And that's why this place is kind of, I guess getting a little reputation for being haunted, and it's just a unique area. But this is the tombstone we're talking about. This is Jacob's tombstone. And I haven't done a whole lot of research into the cemetery yet. We just investigated it. We've done a little bit of research, but not hardcore. So we're a little confused on some stuff, but because it says on a little plaque behind there, which I haven't got to, a different date. It says like 1840, it's either 46 or 48, but it didn't match up to the 1849 that's on the front here. But it says August 28th, 1849. And it shows a picture. I assume that's the actual guy. I'm not sure if that's a recreated photo just to show that this was a slave. And I believe his last name is unknown because it says known only to God. It just says Jacob, and there's no last name, and there's only the date of August 28th, 1849, and then it's like 46 or 48 on the little placard on the back before they replaced it with this new stone, which is a different date, which I'm a little confused about. But no death date, really. Either that's his death date or that's when he was born. I would say that's probably when he was born, but there's no death date, really. So kind of a mystery stone. I guess it was a mystery as to who this guy was. He was a runaway slave from Tennessee. Maybe that's all they know about him. But we picked up a lot of activity in that area. Me and Dickerson Dickerson had the task cam going, the task cam digital recorder, and he started hearing what sounded like footsteps behind us. So we looked around, it sounded like footsteps all around us. And he said he was picking them up all around us. We heard what sounded like somebody hitting something against a tree in the woods. Unless it was a Sasquatch, I don't know. But we need to start hunting Sasquatch, I think, when we're out ghost hunting. But we definitely heard footsteps, around us that were unexplainable. And he picked them up on his recorder, because he's listening live through there, and he can hear a lot more than what we can hear with the naked ear, because it's coming through the audio on the recorder, which amplifies it. It's like having a set of supersonic ears on, or hearing amplifiers or hearing aids almost, because it just blasts into your ears, and he's hearing that live as he records. So he heard all that. We heard the noise. We got a little bit of communication, maybe on the ghost box. Not I wouldn't consider anything like intelligent. We thought at one point we did hear the name Jacob come across, but we can't be absolutely sure that's what it said. But it was just a real low Jacob, But it was a pretty interesting place. Spain Cemetery. It's probably a location I'd like to go to again. Maybe in the daylight, just so I can see, a lot of the stuff we miss there, because in the dark you miss a lot. But it's a pretty cool place. And another thing that happened in the cemetery, in the Spain Cemetery where Jacob's buried, we were halfway through the cemetery again, getting ready to do an EVP session in the mid part of the cemetery, like the middle part. And I had myself, Ed Reese, Amanda Roughton, Courtney Mendenhall was there. For my team members, Jason Dickerson, I think, he was still there at that point. He left early. But he was there, I think, at that point, but in the van, possibly, with Courtney Bowen. I don't think she was out there because she was in the van with him. But they heard, everybody but me, I guess, heard this. Little kids laughing in the cemetery. They heard what sounded like kids, and they said it was 100% kids. But me and Ed happened to be reading a tombstone down on the ground, trying to decipher what it said at the time they heard it. As usual, I missed it. It was behind us, and they all heard it and freaked out and said, "Hey, did you guys hear that?" I guess all of them heard it. Ed said he caught the tail end of it. I didn't hear anything. But another weird thing that might have happened in the cemetery that we can't explain. So, we definitely want to check that out in the near future again. But we want to thank those girls from Effingham and all the people who sent us emails. And because we'd gotten a couple other emails about this place, wanting us to check it out. So definitely, if you guys are out there watching and you have a cemetery or location up your way, it doesn't matter where you're at. We travel all over the place. We go all over the United States. If you got a cool cemetery and you're out there watching, let us know. We're always looking for new places. This was a new one on us. So definitely let us know, if there's anything out there that we can investigate, or you guys have heard rumors of paranormal activity. A lot of activity reports come from caretakers of the cemetery too, or people that mow the cemetery. I get a lot of reports from people that mow cemeteries that tell me, they send me emails and say, "Hey, I was out mowing the cemetery and I saw a Civil War soldier standing there looking at me while I was mowing, or while I was weed eating." We get a lot of reports from caretakers who have paranormal experiences while they're taking care of a cemetery. And this is in the daylight a lot of times. A lot of reports of activity in local cemeteries and different places. One of them, a caretaker reported to me, was Williamsburg Hill. I heard stories of a caretaker having experiences at Williamsburg Hill. I've heard people having experiences, a caretaker having experiences at the Marshall Cemetery, where the Gypsy Queen is buried up there. And there's a big mausoleum, too, that's not the Gypsy Queen, but her name was Cooper, the Gypsy Queen. She's buried at the Marshall Cemetery. Some people have had experiences there in the daylight. Hatchet Man Cemetery, the daylight. There's a cemetery, which I'm not going to name, south of Oblong, daylight. So, I mean, caretakers and people mowing are seeing things in these places. So that kind of makes things more legit. And a lot of these people don't even believe in ghosts or spirits. So they come to me and they say, hey, this changed my life because I looked over and I saw this guy looking at me. So it's just neat to hear these stories. Allison Burks is ready for you to do my dad's house. Yeah, we're going to try to do that. I'm going to have to talk to Billy about that, Allison, and see when we can do that. We got like a full house right now, so I don't know when we're going to get to it. We got stuff every weekend from here to I don't know how far out. Looking at your comments here. Tammy Joe says there's also another unnamed slave there. That's news to me, and that's cool. I haven't looked it up yet, Tammy. I haven't done any research on it. She also says they took donations to give him a proper tombstone. Huh, that's really weird. But, the place, the Spain Cemetery is what we're talking about, guys. Again, if you're joining this late, that's the location we investigated that we're talking about right now. We also investigated a bridge, which I did take pictures there. I just didn't upload them to the show tonight. But right down the road from Spain Cemetery, there's a bridge, and I found out, I did do some research on it after I left. There is reports of it being haunted. And I figured, all these little bridges out in the middle of nowhere seem to have a ghost story. Somebody's either fell off of them or they've killed themselves there, or something like Airtight where there's been murders at these old bridges. Maybe a car went off one of them back in the day. I mean, it seems like every old bridge, especially the old wooden bridges or the ones with the banisters, those were really, really, I hate to say this, but they were popular for suicides. People would hang a rope up there and hang themselves from them, or they'd jump off of them and they'd jump into shallow water and have an accidental drowning or death underneath. So, I mean, bridges are notorious for ghosts and hauntings. That's why we always look at old bridges anytime we're out. When we happen to stop at this place, I found out later it does have a few ghost stories, and I'll post pictures hopefully next time on there. I forgot to upload them tonight, but for the bridge, I do have stuff for the next location. But just a really cool bridge with the old banisters up, the metal over the top of it. There's no date on it. I couldn't find a date. I'm still gonna have to do more research into it to find out when the bridge was built. But it's just right down the road from the Spain Cemetery on 400 in, I believe the road was. But definitely somewhere we're going to go back to after we left the bridge on Saturday night there. Again, we did all this Saturday night after our Betsy Reed tour, so we had a heck of a day. We did our haunted tour with the people, and then we did 4 investigations that night in Shelby County. Another location we went and checked out was called Trowbridge, Illinois, and that's Trowbridge. It's Trowbridge, Illinois, and we went up there. Everybody thinks I say troll, but it's Tro, Trow. When we were on Bobby Ashley's radio show over in Newton, I believe it was last year, maybe the year before, we got a caller call in, or somebody emailed or something. I can't remember what it was, but they were telling us about this location when we were on the radio show over there. It was 103.5 The Eagle we were on with Bobby Ashley. Sorry if that's the wrong one, but I think that was it. Got a lot of radio stations we've been on. But they told us about this area, and there was a murder house there in Trowbridge, and they said the whole town, the whole area is messed up, and this Spain cemetery is pretty close to Trowbridge and the bridge we investigated. So, I mean, I can kind of see what they're talking about. There's some really cool stuff up in that area. We didn't find the murder house, though. So we're going to check into that a little bit more. She said there was, or the lady that called in about Trowbridge said there was even some stuff wrote in a book about the things that happened at Trowbridge. And I'd never heard about it. We still got to do some research into that. I'm going to read your comments here. Hey, Bob. Looks like Bob McMillan's watching. Trying to get some people for the tour, Bob. We're going to advertise it hardcore. So we got the secretary of the Masonic Lodge in Lawrenceville watching right now. But yeah, Tammy Jo, I take pictures of that bridge all the time, she says. Oh, that's cool. That's pretty neat. Are you talking about the same bridge? It's right down the road from that Spain cemetery. Is that where you're talking, Tammy? I assume that's what she's talking about. It's kind of lagging here, guys. So it's a little slow when I read the comments. I apologize. But the next place we went, so we did Spain Cemetery. We did the Haunted Bridge. We went through Trowbridge, just kind of checked it out, looked around. And we found a place, another location that was really cool called Long Point Cemetery, LONG, POINT, so Long Point Cemetery. And we stopped and investigated it, and we found one of the unique stones, one of the most unique stones I think I've seen there too, which is pretty cool. I'm going to throw up a picture of this, and you can't really tell, this picture doesn't do it any justice, but it's a Revolutionary War soldier buried here. I think it's marking a couple people. There is a Revolutionary War veteran right there. And it's a stone, and then it's kind of got the upper half of the stone. It looks like they fitted and put on top of another stone. It's got the Holy Bible open. And the top part of it is actually made from some type of quartz rock. I mean, and I've never seen that before. The Holy Bible is really cool looking because it was like quartz. And you can put a light in it, and it almost glows because it's made out of quartz rock. But I'm going to throw that picture up real quick so you guys can see it too. But if you blow that up, you can see it says Revolutionary War Soldier right there in that the ground plaque that's there with it. But you can see how the stone it's almost made in two pieces. Now, the bottom half is not quartz rock. It starts midway through and goes up, and it's dirty too, so you can't really tell it's quartz. And I just noticed it by accident because it was like kind of sparkly and shiny, and like you can put your light in it and it glows. I mean, this thing's like really cool. And yeah, I'd say that would be extremely, extremely expensive today to get something made like that. I'm sure it was extremely expensive back then, let alone today's prices of stuff. I mean, so yeah, that's quartz rock. The top half of that is. You can kind of see where it splits in the middle there. Here's another shot of it. But we did an EVP session, on the rock. We did an EVP session, to see if the quartz would hold energy or have any type of energy associated with it, because a lot of people claim different types of rock hold power, hold energy, or they're using a lot of rituals and witchcraft and all kinds of different stuff. Quartz has been used for years, and supposedly has magical powers. And I don't know about all that, but, supposedly, the different types of rock hold energy, even residual type activity, like limestone over in Alton, Illinois. A lot of the places where they took the limestone from the prison or the old prison and stuff, they built houses with it, or they used that limestone and foundations of houses. Supposedly they were haunted. Different limestone, different locations with limestone is definitely, there's a lot of places that report activity from having a limestone foundation. One of the locations we investigated just offhand that I can remember that had some limestone in the bottom of it was the Fife Opera House. Now, it had the old foundation of the Rising Sun Tavern in there in the basement of the Fife Opera House in Palestine, Illinois. And that could have been, some of the activity maybe, was coming from that old foundation of the tavern that sat there before the Opera House. A lot of people don't know that, but there was a tavern called the Rising, I believe it was the Rising Sun Tavern that sat there. And the foundation's still visible in the basement of the Fife Opera House. You can still see that. But I'm trying to think of another place where we had limestone that we thought was, causing activity. But some of the theories behind limestone is that it absorbs stuff over time and releases it like a battery. It releases energy, so it's kind of like time replaying over, or it absorbs that. People have even claimed to hear talking near limestone formations or limestone. Nobody's there, just a lot of weird stuff involving limestone. It's kind of like running water surrounding a place too. If you've got running water, if you got limestone, power lines, those are all things that seem to trigger and increase paranormal activity at locations. So you got a lot of stuff there to look at and just kind of, on our site surveys, we got a lot of stuff to look at. We got to look for that type of stuff to see if any of that's present. Have you been to the cemetery in Hudsonville? Jennifer's wanting to know. No, Jennifer, I have not been there in a while. I've been there, obviously I've been there, but I haven't been there for a long time. I have done a couple, investigations there. She's talking about Hudsonville, Illinois there, I believe. But yeah, we need to go out there, Jennifer. You need to come with me, and we'll check some things out there. But that's my cousin I'm talking to there. Jenny's my cousin from, if you guys ever see Jennifer Baker, I'll know she's my cousin. She lives down in Southern Illinois. Well, it's more Southern than what I am even. So she's always been into kind of the ghosts and hauntings and spooky stuff with me too. It kind of runs in the family. I remember back when we were kids, we'd play with Ouija boards. They used to live in El Dorado, Illinois up there, and they had a Ouija board we'd get out and play with and freak ourselves out with and stuff. So, but Joe, that's where we were at, guys, over the weekend, doing some investigations at these 4 locations. We kind of did a little just drive through a Trowbridge, trying to locate some stuff we were told about and weren't very successful. It wasn't like we were told. We were told like every place there is haunted and every place is ran down, and we didn't find that at all. So I don't know where this stuff supposedly took place, but we're doing more research into that. But yeah, that's what we did over the weekend. And this weekend, we are planning some stuff also. Wednesday night, guys, we're going out. We're going to do some investigations Wednesday night, and we're going to be in the Mattoon, Illinois area doing some investigations. So you might want to check that out. I don't know if we'll go live. I hate telling you guys we're going to go live now, because every time I tell you we're going to go live, it ends up we can't go live because of no signal. But we're going to try Wednesday night to do some live feeds in the Mattoon, Illinois area. We're going to go up through Charleston and then actually in the Mattoon area, which has, some rumored places of paranormal activity itself. If you've ever been to the Mattoon area, Charleston area, Mattoon's known for Ragdoll Cemetery. There's a cemetery, where supposedly see a ragdoll up in a tree. And we've investigated it before, but that's not where we're going. We've been there a million times, but we're going to another location we heard about that we have not been to before. We like to find new places. But we will be trying to go live Wednesday night, guys, so check that out. Let's see what else I've got on the schedule here. I'm going to pull pull a live feed back up here so I can look here. Greg says, hope you closed the board back then. Greg, I think that's what's wrong with me. We never closed the board back then. I think that's why I've got ghosts like all around me, and my computer's screwing up and things fly off my shelves and my bedspread gets pulled off of me at night. No, that doesn't happen. Once in a while it does. But it only happens on a full moon, guys. Let me see what else we got here. I'm trying to answer your questions real quick, see if I missed any. But if you guys have any questions out there real quick, that's the updates and news I have for you for this show. I wanted to kind of real quick too, unless you guys have any questions, I want to kind of talk about some EVP stuff, and I want to get into more educational stuff during the shows and start, like 10, 15 minute educational part of the show every time we go live for our talk show. So tonight I want to talk a little bit about EVP, or electronic voice phenomena. And I want to talk about, how you guys can do this yourself out there, at home with your phone, with these voice apps. When we're going out recording, you don't need these fancy dancy recorders like we have. Ghosts and spirits communicate through any type of electronic device, or they try to anyway. So, when you're there at home, if you're bored and you want to try to communicate, and, maybe you don't believe in this stuff, maybe you want to try it for yourself. And that's all it takes, is getting one unexplained voice that you can't explain to be hooked on this stuff. But definitely, download a voice app onto your phone. There's a lot of different voice recording apps you can download onto your phone and try to record EVP yourself. Look for intelligent responses, and what we look for too, when it comes to EVP, you've got true EVP that comes out of thin air. That's what we like. That's my favorite form of EVP or communication from the spirit world or ghost, is when you get an EVP out of thin air on a recorder. And it can be a cassette recorder. It can be digital. The old-fashioned cassette recorders work fine if you got one of those at home. Just make sure you hook an external mic up to it, because if you're using a cassette recorder, sometimes you can record the internal gears of that device, and it sounds like rumbles, and it muffles out and distorts the EVP if you get any. So definitely use an external microphone if you've got an old, I call them the old-fashioned cassette recorders, which is what we started out using back in the day. And it's, magnetic tape. You get a lot of EVP on cassette recorders and magnetic tape. Do not reuse them. Don't flip it to side B. If you've got one of those, only use like side A due to the chance and possibility of bleed through, contaminating your EVP and your evidence. So if you've got a cassette recorder, only use one side of that, to record. That way you don't get any, doubt about, did something on the other side come through and you're picking that up. But any type of old-fashioned cassette recorder will work, and your digital recorders, like I was just showing, any type of digital recorder will work. My opinion, the older the digital recorder, the better. I do not like these new ones. They've got so much noise canceling stuff in them, and they got this high sample rate. The sample rate and stuff's different in these newer recorders, especially there's stereo now and everything. There's just a lot of stuff with these new recorders that's just kind of not picking up EVP like the older ones did for some reason. I think the older ones, it's because you have to have a little bit of that digital static, or that bad sound to them. The new ones are too clear. And I think the reason that these older ones pick stuff up is because they manipulate the sound of that recorder and help form words and sentences. And that's why a lot of times we get robotic sounding EVPs, or EVPs that don't sound like a normal voice, because they're actually manipulating the sound from the device itself and forming words and sentences. So any digital recorder will work, though. Even if you got a new fancy one, a Tascam like Dickerson uses, we like to use one of those in combination with an older one. So if we get an EVP on an older recorder, like on the LP setting that's not very good quality or something, we can go and back it up that it wasn't an actual person talking on the really good high quality recorder. You can go back and verify with times and everything that no one was talking. And if you do EVP sessions out there, guys, only go 3 to 5 minutes. That's our rule when we record EVP. Just do 3 to 5 minute EVP sessions. The reason we do that is because we want to keep a controlled environment when we're recording electronic voice phenomena. And The control environment's everything. I mean, if you talk, you have to note that you talk. If a stomach growls, you have to note stomach growl. That's why you hear me a lot of times during our EVP sessions. I'll be like, note stomach growl, note dog in the background, note train, note owl, note demons. Now that's our joke for a stomach growl. We'll say note demons, but because they sound like a demon on your recorder. And that's why you want to note it, because when you go back and you listen to that, I mean, a stomach growl is like, that's my best impression, but that's all you're getting tonight. Sorry, guys. But yeah, that's what they sound like. But definitely, just take the precautions you need to when you're recording, and make sure no one's talking. And if there is someone else in the room, make sure they don't talk, or they state their name and talk loudly when they do. State like, no, John is talking. No, Sarah is talking, because they come through as whispers, and you don't want to whisper. If you got a group of people there as you're recording, don't let them whisper, because that's how they sound. That's what an EVP sounds like a lot of times, is a faint whisper. But you want to make sure, you're actually picking EVP up, and not someone else. So keep a very controlled environment, only go 3 to 5 minutes. That's why you never see us recording long periods at once with our recorders. I mean, we will leave a recorder in a house or something and leave it on just to see if we accidentally catch any bangs or unexplained knocks or stuff like that. But when it comes to actual voices or electronic voice phenomena, we usually throw them out if they've been recording for a long period of time or we're doing an investigation, just due to the fact that, it's not a controlled environment at that point. We can't say, hey, it wasn't Johnny over there talking. So, you can use anything. Let me see what the questions are flowing in here real quick, and then I'll keep going here. If something starts talking to me and I can't see them, I'm calling you, Jason. No, I thought that was a question. What voice app on the phone would you suggest? Michael says, is there certain settings that's best and on the old RCA digital recorder? Yes, guys. Let me answer Michael first. I mean, any good quality voice recorder on your phone will work. There is let me get back to it and see what the name of this thing is. There's one I like to use. It's called WavePad Free, and there's also one called Wave Editor. The reason I like those is because you can record, and then you can go back and you can actually edit or reverse it or clip those files out and save them. You can amplify them. It's almost like having a miniature version of Adobe Audition or Audacity, which is the programs we use to analyze and look at EVP with. And we do not like to change EVPs with computer enhanced programs or anything. Some teams and stuff will run them through Adobe Audition and or Audacity. It used to be Cool Edit back in the day people would use. But they would over amplify. They would do things to the point to where you're actually altering that voice or that sound clip. You're actually altering that wave file or that the MP3 and saving it as an MP3, and it's altered. So we want to keep unaltered, unedited evidence so we can show you what it actually sounded like. We might amplify it a little or take some hiss out just to clear it up to clarify what it's saying. But we like to keep the original version intact and save it as a wave file so we don't have this EVP that just sounds completely off of what it originally sounded like, which I think is lying to people, lying to the public, because these people will alter and change and amplify these EVPs to the point to where they don't sound like what they sounded like when they were on the recorder. So you got to be careful with programs like that. You got to be careful with computer software and analyzing your EVPs and messing with your EVPs like that. But the computer software is extremely good, though, for looping, so you can hear it over and over again. That helps you determine what the EVP is saying. So you can look at that and definitely hear what that's saying. Another good thing that the computer programs like Adobe Audition or Audacity is Audacity is actually a free program you guys can download if you got a computer. You can either use, if you've got a recorder with a USB that plugs into the computer, or a patch cord or an aux cord like this. You can plug it into the earphone out on your digital recorder and then plug it into a line in on your computer if you have one. A lot of the new computers aren't coming with the line in option. That's why I always look for one that does. But you can run, through an aux cord into this program. That's how I always do them. I run them through the aux cord into there and play them, but you can reverse them. And a lot of times EVP or electronic voice phenomena will have a reverse meaning as well. And that comes into a big theory that it's the subconscious mind, which is getting really deep, because do ghosts have a subconscious mind? In humans, that's the theory, that when you reverse something like your old songs, Stairway to Heaven, all those, and everything has a satanic evil meaning when you reverse it. A lot of the theories say that people's even reversed presidential speeches. They'll reverse that and catch people in lies. But they think that the subconscious mind is coming out in reverse, and it's also almost a lie detector. They say you tell the truth in reverse sometimes when you're lying forward. So you can tape and record a person and play them in reverse, and sometimes you can catch the person saying something else completely. Like they've even, like, some unofficially, some law enforcement agencies like the CIA, the FBI, has used and started to use this technology to determine whether people are lying or not. They'll tape people and play it backwards, and stuff will come out supposedly from the subconscious mind that you're not supposed to be hearing. But there is a program, an app that you can download and try this out for yourself. Try this out with your friends. And I'm going to try to pop this up here so you guys can see it. Kind of put it, here's like paranormal investigation apps. And if you can see, it's kind of hard to see it on the screen. Well, it won't focus. But anyway, it just looks like a bunch of blobs on the screen for some reason. It's called iReverse Speech. iReverse Speech. And it looks like a little blue icon with a guy. He's got like gears turning in his head. That app will actually, you can talk into it and then reverse your own speech and try it for yourself. Another cool thing with reverse speech is they say that little kids and babies learn to talk in reverse before they do forwards. So people have recorded their kids and, flipped it around, and they're actually talking, saying your name and stuff before you actually realize, they're saying your name or asking for a bottle or mommy help me. So, they claim that we all learn to speak in reverse before we start speaking in forward language, which is really weird and mind-boggling. They've done a lot of studies behind reverse speech and this stuff. So another thing to determine, whether your EVP is legit or not, and it's not an animal or anything. Animal sounds in reverse sound the same in reverse and forward as they do. They sound the same in reverse and forward. So you can determine a lot of times, if it's an animal you've recorded, whether it's a bird, whether it's a fox screaming or an owl hooting, play it forward and reverse, and it should sound identical. Human speech does not sound identical when you reverse it. A lot of times, and there's some words in the human speech, like in the that are identical, but very few. Most of the time, you will get a different meaning or a different sound in reverse if it is human speech, and that's a good way to verify with your EVP stuff. Whether it's human speech pattern that you're picking up. So, along with frequency analysis, stuff like that. But that gets into more deeper stuff and harder to do. I mean, the human hearing range is 20 hertz to 20,000 kilohertz. And anything above and below that could be some weird stuff. But we'll get into that on another show. But I want to teach you guys, how to record your own EVP. I mean, like I say, you can download Audacity onto your computer, which is a good program to start, looking at stuff you record and playing it back. But again, any voice recording app on your phone will work. And don't think your phone is something you can't use, because guys, I have recorded a lot of strange things from phone apps and from digital phones, Android-based phones, iPhones, all kinds of different phones with apps. I mean, voice recording apps. So they do work, and they do pick up EVP. So I definitely use that. Joe Terry says, have you ever caught any non-English speaking EVPs? And that's another subject too, which is really cool, and why I like the study. I mean, EVP is kind of my thing. ITC, which is instrumental transcommunication, EVP, electronic voice phenomena, any type of spirit and ghost communication is my expertise, I would say, in the paranormal field. And photography. I mean, I know a lot about photography too, but the reason why I don't like photography, which I talked on a previous show, if you guys watched that with Greg Koss, is I can debunk 98% of all photographs that come across my table. I mean, I went out for years and taken pictures of dust. I went out for years taking pictures of spider webs and dust blowing in the wind and rain and snow. So I know what this stuff looks like. I know what it looks like when a hair gets in front of the camera lens, a camera strap gets in front of the camera lens, breath, in front of the camera. People just get that stuff and they say it's paranormal. They take pictures into reflective surfaces and they call it paranormal. Anything in a reflective surface is not paranormal, guys. It's pareidolia, it's matrixing, it's caused from your flash reflection, and you think something's there when it's not. If you got a reflective object, a reflective surface like glass, a tombstone, a door, a cabinet, a TV, a mirror, I do not consider that legitimate evidence of paranormal activity. Most of the time it can be debunked instantly. But the reason why I like studying EVP, electronic voice phenomena, and this ITC stuff, I cannot currently explain why I'm getting intelligent responses, human intelligent responses, human speech when I ask a question. It's not radio stations. It's not anything I can currently explain. So, I mean, that's why I'm really hooked on the EVP and the spirit communication. I mean, I can't explain that. And I know about radio. I know about RF signals. I mean, I have a ham radio license. I help with communications, for the state of Illinois. We do some stuff. But I know about, how communications happen, how RF signals, work, all this stuff. It's like, I can't explain what I'm getting, guys. That's why I just don't understand it. You can use Faraday cages to try to block out, RF signals, and sometimes you still get EVP. So, that's why EVP is an extremely, extremely, I guess, legit thing when it comes to paranormal activity. But going back to the original question Joe asked, is different languages, and that even verifies stuff even more. And yes, we've caught different languages, languages I can't even speak. One of the languages I caught was on an Indian burial ground, and I took it to a university where this guy, he knew all these different, languages, and he listened to it. It was beyond me. And he said it was a Native American language of some sort. He translated it into, it said, "my flesh and blood." This is what it said. And it was something I couldn't understand, but he translated it and said that's what it said. So he said it was some type of Native American type language. So, yeah, we've got different languages. You go to different parts of the country, you get different languages over there. You go to a foreign country, you get that, whatever was spoken there mainly. So, yeah, that's what makes it legit, too. It's not just English we're picking up. It's Spanish, it's French, it's Native American languages, it's old dialects. That's the weird thing, too, like these old, accents even that we pick up, you can tell they're from somewhere else. And one of the real weird ones I got was over in Olney, Illinois at an investigation. And one of the weirdest ones, too, which I've played it at some of our seminars and our talks and stuff like that. Some of you guys out there may have heard it before, and I think I've even played it on the show before. I don't have it up to play right now, but it said, "My name is Lucifer," which was really weird. And it was in this weird accent that you could tell couldn't even be faked. I mean, I don't know. It was strange. That's one of the strangest EVPs I've gotten. Whether I think it was Lucifer, no, probably not. I don't, maybe it was a guy named Lucifer. I don't think it was the Lucifer talking. Because I'm not a big believer in the demons and the whole demonic thing, but yeah, I don't think it was the devil or anything like that. But it could have been a guy, a ghost, a spirit, trying to scare us out of the house. Maybe, like I say, it was just a man named that. I don't know. But we've got some weird ones. That kind of goes into Luke's next question. What's the best EVP you've got? that was pretty good, Luke. What I'm just telling you about. Another one of my favorites of all time. I was on an Indian burial ground again, in the middle of a field, in the middle of nowhere. Absolutely no outside sources to interfere or distort. No noise contamination. Picked up a very, very good sentence saying, "Please help them go into the light." So it was, "Please help them go into the light." And I was on an Indian burial ground. Obviously that probably wasn't a Native American speaking to me, but maybe it was an English speaking person that lived in the area too at some point, and maybe the Native Americans or them needed help going or moving on. I don't know. That's the thing too. I mean, that's a cool thing about EVP research and ITC research also, is that you get to see into the mind of whatever you're communicating with, and you get to learn secrets, if that makes any sense. I mean, you get into, like, why do they need to go into the light? What happened? Are they stuck here? The other night I got a communication come across the ghost box that said, "The cold restricts us." So that was a new one on me. Sometimes they tell you things and give you little hints here and there as to, how to communicate with them. What's the easiest way to communicate with them? So, I mean, you got to really listen, especially when you're doing ITC sessions through ghost boxes and stuff. Sometimes you get little pieces of information. It's like, whoa, where'd that come from? And what's it mean? The cold restricts us, So then I started looking up sound. Does sound travel better in the cold or the heat? Sound frequencies, sound waves and all that. It travels, I believe, faster in the heat and slower in the cold, I think it was. I can't remember. I hope I got that right. But I looked it up, and started looking into all that too. But we've looked into a lot of stuff over the years when it comes to EVP research. I mean, we tried to study frequencies. How are these things getting on there? Some of the devices, like the digital recorders, are they imprinting onto, when you had your magnetic tapes and your cassette recorders, are they actually imprinting onto that magnetic tape? Same way with the digital recorder. Are they, somehow imprinting onto, the digital technology in there and, like, not actually using the microphone? Or are they speaking in the air, and we just can't hear it because it's on a different sound level or different level that we can't hear? And it makes perfect sense, though, because, it's no different than, you can't hear your radio right now, but when you turn that knob and turn it on, then you can hear it. But it's still there. That's the same way EVP works, I think. You flip that little switch and all of a sudden you got voices coming in. So, it's just like turning on your radio. You can't hear that until you turn that little, that knob or that switch or push that power button. Same way with here. We're hitting record and then all of a sudden we can hear these things. So it's got to be there, guys. I don't know. We can study this stuff for years, probably never figure it out, but we're getting closer and closer all the time to, just having an out and out telephone with the dead. And that's what, we're working toward. We're working toward communication, two-way communication, not just sentences, not just little words here and there. Technology's getting better. Equipment's getting better. These ghost boxes are getting better. There's just a lot of stuff coming out. There's a lot of stuff coming out to amplify the ghost boxes, like all these portals and speakers and stuff they're using now. But you got to be extremely careful with some of those because they're putting echo and all this stuff on them, and you still don't want to distort that voice. I don't think you can get into the point of where it's almost Hollywooding it up with some of these portals and amplifying devices. That's why we like to just have EVP straight out of the air or straight communication from the ghost box and not from a separate thing, like run it through a big speaker portal box with a crystal diode on or a big crystal on top of it and copper wires and blinky LED lights. That's what it's going to out there in the ITC community. And I think that can be bad. I think we need to keep it basic and simple, but use advanced technology to try to communicate with these to whatever it is we are communicating with. And that's another thing. Are we communicating with interdimensional beings? Are we communicating with ghosts or spirits? Are they from somewhere else? Sarah Estep, one of the pioneers and founders of electronic voice phenomena, she founded the American Association of Electronic Voice Phenomena back in the day. she even claimed she was in communication and in touch with interdimensional beings and aliens at times. So through some of her devices that she used. I don't know what we're talking to. I'm not going to make any labels or claims as to where, who, what, when, where it's coming from. All I know is we're having intelligent communication with something. Maybe the ghost in the machine. I don't know what it is. But anyway, guys, I hope I kind of gave you a little insight into EVP. Again, just get you a recorder of some type. It can be from Walmart. It can be a downloaded app on your phone, and try to record some electronic voice phenomena out there. See what you can get. Try it yourself, guys. Go to some cemeteries, even during the daylight. If you don't have permission. That's the cool thing about EVP. You can get it anytime, not just nighttime. You can go to a cemetery in the daylight. You've got permission to go to because it's daylight, where you wouldn't have permission at night. Just walk around, set it down, record. Try some cool places, see what you get. And let me know out there, guys. Send me files if you're doing it digitally and you can upload them and know how to do that. Send them to us. We'll look at them, listen to them. Heck, we might even play it on the show if you get something cool. So go out there and try your own EVP. Research yourself, guys, and see what you can find. And give us give us an email, give us a message, and we'll take a look at it. Jennifer says, have you ever gotten an EVP that was threatening to you or your team? We actually have a couple occasions. I guess you'd call it threatening. We've gotten get out a couple times. Back in the day when we investigated a location in Robinson, Illinois, that we called the Robinson Spook House over there. I had a female investigator with me, and we got a EVP telling her, because she asked the question, I assume it was talking to her, that said, I'm going to choke you. And it was very forceful. It was like, I'm going to choke you. And that's what it sounded like. And a whole sentence. So, yeah, we've gotten threatening EVPs. And again, I don't call that evil. I don't call that demonic. It's just the way you look at it. People are like that in life. And I think they keep their characteristics in death. So, if you get a person that's like that in life, that's mean and hateful and, won't call them any other names, but you know what I'm saying. They're going to be like that in death. So it's not necessarily an evil spirit. It's just that's the way that person was in life, possibly. And that's the way they're going to be in death. They just kept those characteristics, which is unfortunate. But yeah, we've gotten a lot of threatening EVPs over the years. Get out. Like I say, we've gotten cuss words, which I'm not going to say live on the air. You guys probably hear us do that too much on our live feeds when something happens. But we have a problem with that. But we've gotten cuss words. We've gotten people swearing at us. We've gotten people just saying everything under the sun to us. So it happens. It doesn't scare us. We just say, oh, well, that guy's communicating with us like that. He either doesn't want us here or something. So, but yeah, that's a good question, Jennifer, about that. If you guys don't have any other questions about EVP, we're going to do a lot of shows on EVP. This is just like kind of touching the surface of electronic voice phenomena, or ITC, the instrumental transcommunication. I could talk for 6 weeks on this subject, but if you guys got any other questions, throw them out there. Or probably going to end here in a minute, getting close to the 10 o'clock hour. We will probably see you guys Wednesday night, if not. So we'll probably go ahead and call this one. Looks like it's about 9:55. I got a late start tonight due to the spirits. That's all I'm going to say anyway. Interfering with my computer. They like to do that, I think. That or I need to update my computer on time. It's probably my fault. I'll blame it on the spirits. But yeah, thank you guys for watching out there. Thanks, Tiffany. Thanks, Jennifer, Andrew, Luke, Doyle, Diana, Karen, Kat, Tiffany, everybody, Michael. Thanks everybody out there for watching. And like I say, coming up in October, and the next show, like I say, we're going to have Sharon on here from the McPike Mansion as a guest. We're going to talk about her haunted overnight event on October the 24th that we're going to be a part of. And then every Monday night show in October, we're going to be giving away probably one of these DVDs to our documentary. We're going to announce how you do that and how you're going to win that. So stay tuned, guys. And we'll be back either Wednesday night for a live investigation, or we'll see you next Monday night. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have a good evening out there, and I will talk to you all later.